Hi, it's Leia. I'm coming to you after my interview with Gregory, which I think went very well. And I want to start off by vehemently apologizing for the horrible sound quality. And I don't know if you all noticed, it was very frustrating, I know, and it was very disappointing to me when I saw the final cut. However, I'm doing this outtake to sort of do my own opinion of what we talked about. And there is, by the way, a link at the bottom of that particular video where you can link onto SoundCloud and get a much better quality of sound. Okay, back to the project. Personally, the last thing that I want to hear when someone who I really want to hear speaking is someone else speaking. That's the reason why I don't do a lot of talking when I do interviews with Dick. Because there's not a lot of people who I want to listen to, but I still respect it. You know what I mean? I just want to be able to hear that person and not the interviewer speaking over the interviewee and that sort of thing. So I'm saying that to say that I don't want anyone to get the impression that my silence is assent. I'm not saying that I agree with what he said, that I disagree with what he said, I'm uncertain with what he said, I'm indifferent about what he said. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying that I know you want to hear him, not me at this point. Or maybe you do want to hear me. I don't know. But this is the opportunity to do that. In our talking about the film Lucy, Dick was honing in on the fact that the movie was called, the primate that was found was called Lucy, which was a female, because the scientists were listening to a song by the Beatles called Lucy, or the lady's name in the song was Lucy or whatever. I wouldn't know. I wasn't born at the time. I haven't ever heard the song. I chimed in and I honed in on the fact that my thing was that Scarlett Johansson's role was called Lucy because it was a slick way for them to kind of put in Lucifer, and at the end show that she was going back to 100%, and she, or it, or Lucifer, would ultimately rule, and primates would inhabit the earth. So it had a lot of occult in it. It was very interesting. Very, very interesting. I enjoyed it. As Dick said, he saw it 8 times. I plan to see it again because if you read a book twice, you're going to get something new. If you read a book 3 times, you're going to get something else. If you see a movie twice, same deal. You're always going to get something new. So I'm going to check it out again. And if you haven't seen it, I suggest you see it. It's a really, really, really good film. And how you know films are really good is when they stay in the box office. I don't even know if the Planet of the Apes is still playing, but this is a really good one. But anyway, I just wanted to... Dick really was talking about the fact is how he believes that the universal God is female. Personally, I think... Now, I know that the universal totality of all things is not either male nor female. It is of no gender, and that's what happens. We try to genderize it because we are human. Therefore, we try to humanize it, and humans have genders. Therefore, we try to make it man-like or human-like when it's not that at all. What it is something that we cannot grasp. So, I personally often will call it it. Not for disrespect, but because there's nothing really more that it can be defined as, because it created all things. It created creation. Therefore, how can we call it anything? The term God is only 400 years old. It's of Germanic descent. Germanic, Germanic, Germanic descent, the term God, which is only 400 years old. And it's the most universally used term to define it, represent it, or acknowledge it. I really think that we lose sight of it when we get to a point where we think that we can connect to it. Because to think that you can connect to it is to think that you can grasp it. In order to think that you can grasp it means that you think that you can understand it, which we cannot. We have our own personal universes. Our own body is our universe, and we work it. And we have different laws, just like the earth. And everyone talks about, oh, there's laws of the universe, there's this law, that law, the law of attraction, the law of this, the law of that. But we have to understand that we are bound by the laws of the earth. And the earth is bound by the laws of the universe. That's a big difference. A huge difference. Now, I say that to say that you have certain things that will prevent certain things from happening. Then you have other laws that will allow things to happen. And it's not that a law is being defied, it's that two laws are working together to create a common goal or a common goal, a common positive thing to come to fruition or a negative thing to come to fruition. I'm saying that because we rely on it to a point of failure, because it has already placed every law in place that will ever be, and it hasn't changed any of those laws since it created creation. And with that, it has put power in us to cause things to come to fruition, for us to determine our destination and our fate and what we want to do. And it's like your parent giving you a toolbox and lumber to build a house and giving you a blueprint, and you keep saying, Dad, build me a house, Dad, build me a house, when you have everything there you need to do it. But you don't realize that you have the capability of having this house built on your own. We have all the tools that we need to do this. But why is this a secret? Why is it that a white person's background is history, but a brown person's background is a mystery? That's pretty hard for me to swallow. That's the reason why I asked the question concerning the Vatican Library and what they call the Vatican Secret Library. In the Vatican City, there is a library that one cannot just walk into and start roaming around like you can a regular library or the Library of Congress and start taking books off the shelf and looking at them, making photocopies, and everybody's quiet and at random. No, you have to be escorted by 2 armed guards, what they call a priest. You can't check anything out. You can't copy anything. You can't video anything with your phone. You can't take any pictures. You can't do anything like that. All you can do is have paper and pencil, and you have to apply to go. And you have to tell them what your qualifications are, what book you want to check out, what it's called, why you want to do it, this, that, and the third. And it's like almost a moot maze of a circle, because of the fact that how can I tell you what I want to see when I don't know what you're playing in your theater? You know what I'm saying? But it's just a mess. But I really don't know much about it. I've never been there, but I think that Dick's way of putting it was great. You know, there's nothing in there. He said it's a bunch of BS, and you know, the formula to grow you another leg is not there. So what he was saying in essence is nothing is in there that is germane to your existence. And I think it was a really good interview here again. And I started another video, and I'm going to finish it probably later on today. But I just wanted to say thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And remember, if you have any questions for Dick, just put them in the comment section. Okay? Take care.